They're set. The C Corp, Hyperion, and they're racing as well. And the Velvet King missed the kick a couple of lengths again. From the inside, Abdicator and Humidor were the first of them away. Rushing out of the gates also Material Man, who's going to fire right up over the speed early in front of Blackheart Bart. And in between horses, Mississippi Delta as they get going. And now the Velvet King mustering speed near the inside after another slow start. Then came Angelic Ruler. Also back on the inside, one of the other mares, Ms. Lecky next. Almost 2 lengths, Arctic Stream, Push and Shapes, Sagano beaten for pace well back today, and so's Perfect Jewel, and last of all is Gattinger. Inside the 1,000 metres they travel here in the Hyperion, and it's Abdicator who leads the way with Humidor up running second. The Velvet King has continued to make up ground on the inside. He strode to third at the 800, down on the inside of Material Man, who was able to slot over. A length and a half to Blackheart Bart, posted there pretty wide outside Mississippi Delta. On the inside of her next is Ms. Lecky, a length and a half away, then Arctic Stream being urged along 550 from home. Angelic Ruler, Push and Shapes. Further back, Perfect Jewel, Taxagano. G. Gadding's got the task in front of him. They're about to turn in the Hyperion, 400 from home now, and Abdicator wobbled off the fence. The Velvet King can get right up on his inside to join him. The stablemates have come away. Mississippi Delta runs on. So does Angelic Ruler down the outside. Abdicator, the Velvet King closer towards the inside. Mississippi Delta, Perfect Jewel, Angelic Ruler, both running on. The Velvet King kicks at the 100 now, tackled by Perfect Jewel. The Belmont Sprint winner, Perfect Jewel, goes to the Velvet King. They'll hit the line together, and she's done it again, Perfect Jewel. Perfect Jewel has reigned supreme and again proven to be the conqueror of the Velvet King. For third behind them, either Mississippi Delta or Ms. Lecky, who finished full of running. Right behind them, Push and Shapes, Humidor, Material Man, followed by Abdicator. Further back in the field, then Taxagano, Gadding never got warm, and then Angelic Ruler, who tiptoed late in the race, back there with Arctic Stream, and Blackheart Bart. Well, he sat off the track all the way, but he's been beaten a furlong. The old warrior at the tail of the field. Perfect Jewel has done it again. Patrick Carberry, Perfect Jewel have now clinched the Belmont Sprint and Hyperion double. And the more the rain was coming that led into race 7, the bigger her prospects grew. She has cut the Velvet King down again, a sluggish start, but he got a beautiful run inside of Abdicator, who wobbled off. And the Velvet King was able to go through. Mississippi Delta weighs in third in front of Ms. Lecky, who finished strongly, and Angelic Ruler behind them. But Perfect Jewel sparkling again here in another of our Group 3 features. This time it's in the Hyperion. The daughter of Redout's Choice from Star Encounter for Peters Investments, a double for them this afternoon, prepared by Adam Durant. And Pat Carberry, well, he's found the secret to Perfect Jewel, that is for sure. 2 for 2 on the mare. And she wins her 11th from 21. Scored by 3/4 at the finish, 2 3/4 second and third in 1:38.60, 35.89 the final 600. Number 7, the Velvet King, second in by Universal Ruler from Double Black Velvet. Another second performance here. Second in the Roma Cup, Belmont Sprint, now again at the hands of Perfect Jewel in the Hyperion. Darren McAuliffe, Mitchell Pateman combining. And third 11, Mississippi Delta, by High Chaparral from Mississippi Belle. William Pike, the rider for Grant and Alana Williams. 10, 7, 11, 13 in another big finishing burst by Perfect Jewel to clinch another Group 3 feature event. The last is the Seppelt Wines Handicap at 442 over 1,200 metres. And in the last, there are no changes. As we head downstairs, let's go to Brittany Taylor and Patrick and Perfect Jewel, a perfect combination.
Darren, and they've done it again. Can you believe it? She won the Belmont Sprint. She was at $30 on that occasion and surprised many. And Jason Miller joins me now, and she drew so well on that occasion, and today she drew so wide. Did that dent your confidence coming into the race with her?
Oh, look, we knew she's going well. It was a tricky barrier, but just left it up the pat. I said, you know how to ride her, and so just see how it unfolds. And yeah, her finishing burst was brilliant, wasn't it?
It was just outstanding today. At what stage of the race did you think she could go back to back here?
Look, probably the last 200 that really started when she started chiming in. But she looked really good going to the line.
Has there been any change behind the scenes in what you see in her work in the most recent times?
Not really, no. No, she's just racing in good form, and she's in good form at home as well.
Well, congratulations on the Hyperion, another feature for Perfect Jewel.
Thank you.
Jason Miller speaking there. I just had a quick chat with a few trainers as we were walking through the wash-up from Angelic Ruler. Ben Pearce just saying nope, 1600. Just too far for her, so they'll be targeting mares races going forward over east, because the Masters is a little bit tricky for her. The 1200 probably that little bit too sharp, and the mile of the railway is also just that bit far. So for her, it's probably destined to head east in the spring and try target some mares races, and you would imagine that will be it for Blackheart Bart. Whilst doing it so tough, he was already a question mark after the Roma Cup. Lindsay Smith sending him back to trial, so we'll await the fallout there with Blackheart Barton word from Lindsay Smith. But Pat Carberry just having a chat with Jason Miller, he'll weigh in, but as Darren said, perfect combination is what they are after winning the Belmont Sprint at big odds too, and then he's able to do it again today when most wrote Perfect Jewel off thinking could she possibly do it twice. She had to overcome the wide gate today. Pat Carberry will jump in front of the microphone, and then we'll have a chat to Pat. He's got the wet weather's out and making sure he's got plenty of dirt on you there, Pat. From the wide gate, did you know that you'd just be out the back today and hoping on that turn of foot?
I sort of, I never like to assume, but I assumed that's how I was going to be asked to ride her. Basically, I had no instructions other than just to sort of get her in the back half, and you know, if you threw it with cover, fair enough. But she jumped out quite keen, and I was able to get her back and get her cover, and went back to the fence, and all of a sudden I was sort of one off the fence and ended up getting on the back of Joe Azzopardi, and I thought his horse was bringing me into the race nicely, and I was pretty confident turning for home just on straightening. She travelled into the race nice, and she gave me a good feel.
What win was more impressive in your eyes, the Belmont Sprint or the Hyperion?
I think they were both really good.
You always do when you win them, don't you?
Yeah, I think obviously the conditions suit her with a bit of sting in the ground, and obviously she's proven at the distance. And you know, let's not forget, a couple of seasons ago she ran fourth in the railway coming from last, so she's obviously got a bit of class on her side, and yeah, just grateful to get the opportunity and good to capitalise on it.
It must be great to be able to put on these silks. Obviously, we know Willie Pike gets the first selection, but when you are fortunate enough to put on the cerise and white, you know you're generally on a good one.
Yeah, I mean, it's always great to get opportunities from different stables, and obviously Adam and the staff, you know, put the polish on these horses, and credit to them as well.
Well, congratulations to you as well, Pat. Well done.
Cheers, thanks.